Section 99A. So for not complying with this section, there would be a penalty imposed. So don't write it expressly. You will still need to provide response. If there's an application, but don't write in handbook expressly that you will not approve any application for the flexible working arrangement. You will carry the risk. So please remember that.
So ladies and gentlemen, for all the employers, right, we need to provide certain degree regardless. We need to observe this. We need to observe this. We have the right to highlight it, to say certain ones are actually not able to, certain work are not able to, but you still need to allow certain degree. Like honestly, even for us, we are in that dilemma. We are in that dilemma, right? So we also have to say, okay, certain sector we are able to comply because they are of different level of maturity as well. And then the quality of the work can still be maintained if an application happens, but certain category, basically the work can't function. So hence it would then be putting aside. So there's another question on flexi work from home. If I am to draft it, can I draft it in a very lopsided manner? Meaning the degree of the person who can handle it is only the managing partner of the company. No one else can apply for, once you funnel through, like, okay, there are certain sector you cannot provide, certain sector you can provide, okay, but that sector is like, wow, only senior managers and whatever. Can you do to that kind of minute compliance? Or it will be too lopsided that it can also be seen as a discrimination of a work environment or any sorts?
Actually, there is no such requirement to have a flexible working arrangement policy under the law. So, but yes, if you only allow the senior manager to apply for the flexible working arrangement, I believe that is a kind of discrimination from my point of view. So I think we can draft it in a more fairer way. Try not to just put certain position to be able to apply for the flexible working arrangement. But as of now, there's no direction on this flexible working arrangement policy. So we are unsure of the direction as of now. So any kind of policy can be considered.
Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, this flexi working arrangements, right? It never talked about just pure work from home, to be honest. It's not even really being mentioned as such as well, right? It's just flexible arrangement, a flexible arrangement. So the crafting of this para is very important. It really rendered a need to discuss further, right? Basing on your kind of industries and your kind of businesses, right? To look into this matter. If you need anybody to brainstorm this matter or even look into crafting that particular paragraph, actually, I don't mind that you give us a call. Right. And I, to see how we can provide you with that small little services to actually assist you forward. Okay. Else you can always start something of your own. Okay. And then you test run it as well. Because I guess this flexi work arrangement, to a certain extent, it is actually a global trend as well. If you don't provide, your competitor provide, then you're losing out in your talent retention anyway.
So please allow me to add something.
Yes.
Practically in this modern day, actually, we are moving toward digitalization, and flexible working arrangement is becoming more and more popular. So it may be a point to attract talent as well if an employer offer flexible working arrangement. And actually, it can also reduce the cost of business because the company may not need a bigger space to house all employees. As you can see, there are a lot of those co-working space, right? So this may be a point of considerations. It is not necessarily negative for employer. So especially younger employee, if competitor companies provide working from home arrangement, but your company does not provide, then you may have more talented employee going to your competitor. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I can see a lot of questions still coming on leave calculation, probation period, or whatever the calculation part. So I'm going to get Marcus to actually handle those in the chat room.
Yes.
Now
Okay.
I'd like to go into the next slides as well, which is actually on slide number 12. Yeah, that talks about maternity leave and maternity allowance. Now, it's actually puzzled me a little bit about this thing called maternity allowance. Okay. Marcus, I will need to interrupt you here. What is the meaning of maternity allowance? Is it an allowance in addition to the salary of a staff?
No. According to the Employment Act, if the company still paying your salary during the maternity leave, it will be the maternity allowance. It's not additional.
Okay. So looking at this slide, right, it actually says a female employee has been employed not less than 90 days during the 9 months immediately before the confinement. And because these are 1, 2, 3 are all the N, employed by the employer at any okay, there are still people coming interesting.
Okay.
And employed by the employer at any time in the fourth month immediately before her confinement and less than 5 surviving children. So does it mean if this doesn't fulfill, I can, okay, I got to satisfy the maternity leave. But I can, if the person doesn't satisfy the employment, can I just don't pay the salary? Can I do that? Maybe
sorry.
Jerry?
Sorry, come again. The question if
the question on maternity allowance,
yeah,
on maternity allowance, if the employee did not fulfill the minimum employment requirement as stated here.
you mean the 90 days?
The 90 days or whatever.
The employed by the employer at any time in the 4 months. So if they do not satisfy with the condition, they are not entitled to the maternity allowance, but they are entitled to the maternity leave. So the employer are not able to terminate them from the employment.
But can the employer don't pay the salary?
You mean
during the maternity leave period?
Unpaid.
So it can be unpaid. It is
Yes.
an unpaid.
Unpaid.
It is but then it's
Unpaid.
a maternity leave. Maternity leave.
No, it's two different things.
Yeah.
It's two different things. The line must be drawn. It's two different things. Some of the female employer are entitled to maternity leave, but they don't fulfill the requirement under the yes. So there are two different things.
So
it means that unpaid maternity leave.
Yes. And
so the key is I can't sack the person.
Yes, you are right. You can't sack the person. Yes. But then if the female employee would like to start early, they can actually apply. They can with the certification of the medical practitioner, and they can let them to start working. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So meaning first thing is the moment that I employ a staff, okay, this is my employee, all right? Whether the person is actually confirmed or not confirmed, hospitalization leave entitlement and sick leave entitlement is there already, number one.
Yes.
Okay. Number two, the maternity leave entitlement is also there already. Correct?
You are right.
It's also there already.
Yep.
If the person come under hospitalization or sick leave entitlement, the salary will still need to be paid. Correct? Marcus, correct? Am I right? Marcus and Jerry, because you guys are the HR expert. Okay, I'm lacking of this a bit. So, but when come to maternity leave, if the person does not actually fulfill the minimum requirement of employment days, all right, then the employer has the right to grant the leave with no pay.
You are right. right.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this is a good information to those that who are like me that didn't actually see that silver lining difference. Because to me also, all these slides are rather new. So, okay, great. I wonder whether there's any questions on maternity leave. So Joyce Gunn say, mean staff entitled for maternity leave as long as she's employed for at least. No, Joyce, the person is entitled to maternity leave the moment the person joined the company. But if the person did not satisfy the number of working days with the company, the person go for maternity leave, can go to maternity without pay. That is where the difference is. So meaning to say, you cannot, we as an employer, we cannot terminate an employment of our staff who are under confinement period. Same with the salary, correct. Mandy Chiang, basically maternity allowance is also equate salary. Maybe if you want to make it clear, you ensure your handbook, your staff handbook, your company policy, you clearly stated all this relevant section of the act, and to make clear reference that the meaning of the maternity allowance being the whatever, and then if you do not satisfy this, then what will be the company approach lah? So which actually the act already provide also. Yeah, Mandy, I hope that actually answer your question. Yeah, so Marcus will need your help to also help me to put in. Now, there is one on paternity leave, which is actually on slide number 13. Jerry will love to see this one. This one, married male employee are given 7 days of paternity leave, right? And then the fulfillment is he has to be working for at least 12 months. So if the employee only work in the company for say 10 months, do we need to provide paternity leave on a prorated basis, or we have to give or can we just don't give? Because not 12 months, ma.
You have to fulfill the condition at least 12 months of employment by the same employer, and informing employer of the pregnancy at least 30 days from the expected confinement. So this is a must. Yes.
So if there is not say for example only 10 months, so this staff only 10 months, even though he informed 30 days, because there is an end here, so that means I don't need to give the paternity leave.
Yes, must satisfy both.
It's
not entitled both. Yes.
Yeah. So for employers and HR specialists who actually log in today, so paternity leave is either you fulfill or you don't fulfill. So you don't need to do any prorating. In a way, you don't need to do any prorating to that. So if the person fulfill, 7 days is granted. If the person is not fulfilled, basically it's your discretion whether do you still wanted to extend. In a way, you don't need to provide already. You don't need to provide already. So okay, this one I see there's a lot of people ask about calculation. Maybe I just touch on a little bit on calculation. You have slide number 15, Jerry.